people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good evening. Welcome back to another Kneejerk stream. Game week 18, I'd say finally finished, but it didn't ever really start properly, did it? Because there wasn't that many matches. We only had 5 in total. Who knows how many matches we're going to have for game week 19. But as far as you know, the Premier League's going to try and continue games unless it has to call them off. There could be a postponement for game week 20, which we'll talk about in a minute, because that does have like a knock-on effect. If game week 20 gets cancelled, then I tweeted about this just a minute ago, a lot of the players we currently own, they might have a good fixture in game week 19. They don't necessarily have a good fixture in game week 21, so it might change our planning just a little bit. But otherwise, game week 18 was good for me. I got another green arrow, which we'll talk about in a minute. For anyone that captained Cancelo, fair play. For anyone that went for Foden, it sucks. Who I just mean buying him in general, right? Didn't play a single minute. I do wonder if it's still the ankle thing or if it's just standard rotation. Not really sure. What else happened? Watkins, oh my god. It was mad. It was mad. Like, I did the deadline stream early on Saturday, and as I said to people on that, I said I had plans. It's why I couldn't do the deadline later. And I think I also said, which is one of the reasons I didn't also change my plans, is that if the Villa game gets called off and the deadline gets pushed back again, so I just didn't want to, stop my plans for the sake of a deadline stream, right? Not one where we didn't know what was going to happen. And I did set an alarm. The alarm went off to check to do my transfers. And I don't know why, but I guess to check the news, but before I did my transfers, I checked Twitter and suddenly I just saw tweets to me saying that the Villa game's off. So I just double checked it and it was. So I didn't get Watkins in, and I basically reset my alarm for 3. Originally, I set my alarm for 4:15. I don't know why. I just thought the game was at 4:30, and luckily I realised in time, and I reset my alarm for 3:50 p.m. before the thing. And look, I think in general, being on a different time zone to like the UK probably sucks for FPL, but at the moment it kind of sucks even more because I literally did my transfer at like 3:55, 3:56, something like that. Absolutely crazy, right? And I think early transfer, I think you are just crazy if you're doing early transfer right now. Who cares about the odd 0.1 million here or there? You just can't do it. You just cannot do it. Any game could get postponed at any time. They've shown they're not afraid to cancel them with only like 2-3 hours notice. But overall, the players that we did have did pretty well. I won't pretend. Like, let me bring up my score. Right, we'll see how it went. If I bring this up, hang on just a second. Yeah, so I got 65. So all that talk about big at the back being dead. I mean, I feel like my team is like, not proof, but it's like, it just shows that you've got to forget about what's happened. And just, if the players still have good fixtures, are still good quality players, you just got to hold on to them. Same thing happened with Chelsea. James got returns last week. Alonso got returns last week. This week they get returns as well. They do have 2 good fixtures coming up, although again that might change soon. Cancelo again. Obviously, there was no reason to sell him last week. Trent, even though he conceded, he still got returns. So big at the back for now, looking pretty good. Maybe not for too much longer. Saka coming out. Smith Rowe is like the most annoying FPL player or FPL option in the game this year. The most annoying. When he's playing with Saka, he outscores him. Now he's getting benched. He's not even first choice right now. He's not nailed, and people are still getting points from him. Last week he got the same amount of points as Saka. This week he only got 1 less. It's so frustrating. Having a nailed player, Smith Rowe's keeping up with him even when he doesn't play. Every shot he has is just going in. And then, and obviously Martinelli, who I did speak about in the preview, I was just a little bit worried about his minutes, but he got 2 goals, so fair play if you brought him in. But Smith Rowe is so frustrating. So frustrating. Keeps coming on and scoring, and I'm still waiting for that haul from Saka. You're only saying Smith Rowe's most annoying because you own Ramsdale. Yeah, I guess if you didn't. Yeah, but I don't think Ramsdale, you can't. I don't think it's the same thing, right? Ramsdale. Okay, maybe Arsenal's defence isn't as good as it's performing, but I mean, he's making saves, right? He is contributing to the fact they're getting so many clean sheets. But Smith Rowe, when you went for Saka, and the price difference between them has just gone like this, and Saka, and you just haven't had any points for it. But look, at the end of the day, I shouldn't complain. I bought Lacazette because I didn't get Watkins in. I bought Lacazette in. The main reason that I went for Lacazette over other options, like I was looking at a hit. I did toy with a hit for Livramento to Diaz, which I spoke about in team selection, but I was probably always on the side of not doing it more than actually doing it. It obviously would have been nice this week because he got the goal. But I bought in Lacazette because ultimately, like, I know people are saying like X fixture has got more chance of being off than the next fixture, but I mean, we don't really know. So ultimately, I just wanted a player with a good fixture this week. So I never really wanted Watkins that much, but I probably would have bought him in if the game was on. We obviously had Chelsea next, whereas Lacazette's got Norwich. So the team for next week's actually looking. It's potentially looking pretty damn good for game week 19, and I've gone up to 78k. So I've gone from 190k 3 weeks ago to 78k, and a lot of that's down to the players that people were saying that should have been gotten rid of, right? So I'm pretty happy with that. But yeah, Liverpool playing Leeds. I'm hoping that Jota starts again. There has to be a chance that Firmino gets to start soon, though. Interestingly, today, Jota was kept on for the whole 90 minutes. Firmino came on for Morton, and Mane was the one that was sacrificed when they needed to put another defender on. By the way, there should have been 2 red cards in that. Kane should have been sent off. Robertson should have been sent off. We'll just deal with that now. And obviously, I'm hoping that Foden plays. He's just got a rest. Cancelo will probably play. Antonio off the back of a rest. He's going to get a couple of goals against Southampton. And obviously, the Arsenal boys have got Norwich. So I've actually only got representation in my first 11 from 4 teams. Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and... 5. Arsenal, the main bulk, and then Antonio as well. So Game Week 19 looks good if it goes ahead. But I don't want to, like... It's obviously, you've got to caveat everything at the moment. I don't want to keep... Obviously... It looks great if they all play. But yeah, if the Villa-Chelsea game gets off, it doesn't look quite as good, obviously. But I don't even think it would be that bad. I could just play King instead of one of them and sell the other, possibly. Jota scoring too many to be dropped, possibly. Yeah, he wasn't that great, to be honest, Jota. At least not up until the goal. And Salah was so quiet today. But I'm definitely captaining him against Leeds, right? Leeds have got so many injuries. If Arsenal can put 4 past them, what can Liverpool do to them, you know? So yeah, things are looking good. But the one thing we need to talk about, and like this is just a knee-jerk stream, so we're not like, the next deadline is Boxing Day. It's not till next Sunday. We don't need to put confirmed plans in place or anything like that. But it is worth just having a quick look at this. So I tweeted about this earlier. According to The Athletic, Premier League clubs are set to discuss whether to postpone an entire round of festive fixtures at a meeting tomorrow. So apparently there is going to be a crisis meeting with the managers from all 20 Premier League clubs. Like they want something done about everything that's happening with COVID cases. Obviously, some teams are more affected than others, etc. So apparently the latest, I mean, The Athletic's pretty good for this stuff. It doesn't mean it's 100% going to happen, but they're pretty good, is that the Game Week 20 fixtures will just be postponed. Now, it doesn't say... I've read the article really quickly. I don't think it says it in there. It doesn't say when those fixtures will go in instead. It just says they'll be postponed. So essentially, instead of going from Game Week 19 fixtures to Game Week 20 fixtures, we will go from Game Week 19 to 21. Now, to be honest, just on a side point, I think... And I'll get to Super Chats and the rest of the questions in a minute. Let's just talk about this for a sec. As a side point, like... Obviously, as a football fan, like it is great watching all the football on Boxing Day. It's great. Then a couple of days later, when Christmas is done, everyone's starting to get the post-Christmas blues. We've got more football, and in the new year, there's more football again. Like it is great, but obviously, from a player well-being, having to have that middle game week between Boxing Day and New Year's Day is a bit crazy, right? But that's a side note. So they're on about that potentially could just go for now, and they'll postpone it, and obviously they'll play the fixtures later, which would be crazy because Spurs have already got like 3 extra fixtures to play. But as I then went on to tweet, if game week, hang on, let me just see if you can see this on screen. Yeah, you can see it on screen, right? So if Game Week 20 does get postponed, nearly all the popular players we're currently holding will have a worse set of fixtures over the next 2 game weeks, right? So basically, we might change our strategy in who to sell and who to keep. Like if Chelsea didn't have Game Week 20 and they also missed the game against Villa, they're pretty much just sellable because then they will come back to Liverpool, City, Spurs, blank. Like, there's no reason to keep them. So basically, right, so Arsenal players would go from having Norwich this week and then Wolves, which Wolves isn't easy, right? But it's better than playing Man City. But they then go to Norwich, then Man City. Liverpool would have Leeds and then Chelsea instead of what would have been Leeds and then Leicester. Obviously, Leicester is better than Chelsea. And City will, instead of having Leicester and Brentford, obviously that Brentford game was looking really good for probably attacking returns and maybe defensive as well. They'll have Leicester and Arsenal. So it's not too bad for City, but it is worse. So all that planning kind of gone out the window. Now, in terms of what that will mean for FPL, whether they'll change transfers, wildcards, anything like that, I doubt they'll change very much, to be honest with you. I think we'll probably get screwed over, all of us in the same boat, so to speak. I know everyone loves that phrase at the moment. I never said to sell Liverpool players. I could go back and listen, but I'm pretty sure I never said to sell Liverpool players. Yeah, so basically, I think all that planning it's only 1 week, right? But I did get one of the reasons I got Lacazette is because I thought Leeds, then Norwich, then Wolves isn't that bad. But now he's got Norwich, then Man City. It's not that great. And Chelsea would definitely become sellable. So this week I really want, if that happens, I really want to roll a transfer this week because Spurs players I was already eyeing up for that Watford game. I thought it was going to be 3 game weeks ago. Now it might only be 2. Because Watford potentially is a good captain opportunity because Liverpool played Chelsea. So captaining Son or Kane over Salah could be pretty decent. So So I really want to roll this week. And to be honest, like if all the games go ahead, which I'm sure there'll be some that will be off, this team does not need a transfer at all. And even if, like I said, one of the games was off, I can probably get through it without making too many transfers. So we'll have to see what happens. We're going to find out the rest of this week, the crisis meetings and all that stuff. I think what is very clear, though, is the Premier League don't want to just... I mean, I think postponing a whole game week is a pretty big call from them, but generally they just don't want football to stop. I think this might be just like the compromise they say to managers. Look, we need to get the games playing because we need the fixtures to go ahead, because otherwise it just turns into an absolute mess of chaos trying to rearrange the fixtures. But we'll give you this middle week off so that you have a bit more of a break. But we'll see. We should get the transfer rolled into 21, otherwise we'll lose out on one transfer of the whole season. Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, I guess we will. Well, it depends. That depends on what they do with the Game Week 20 fixtures. If they put it all in 1 week, like if they add it to the end of the season, then I guess not. Like if they make a Game Week 39. But if it becomes a double Game Week, then yeah, you're right. We would lose a transfer. But I guess, does that matter? I don't think it matters, does it? We'd all be in the same position. We'd all just get our transfer from Game Week 19 to 21 instead of 19 to 20. So I don't think we'd get an extra transfer, to be honest. I don't think it would make too much difference. Thoughts on Wolves' defence? Wolves is a good defence. Simple as that. When they got good fixtures, they're good. Nick, 74 points for free hit. 26 of those points I wouldn't have gotten without the free hit. Should I be happy or did I waste it? 26 points is pretty big, I think. The thing is, it's like people always like to be smug about, if they get to save a chip when everyone else has to use it and stuff. But ultimately, it's going to depend on your team. And again, once you've used the free hit, you'll just plan differently to other people. It doesn't mean I wouldn't say you've wasted it. 26 points is pretty decent, to be honest. Should we get Robertson? He has more assists and goals than Cancelo. I think Robertson is a good pick in general. I don't think he should necessarily be in ahead of Cancelo. But the problem is you've got Salah, you've got Trent. You only get one more. So if you're not going to go for Jota, then fair enough. Let's not even pretend we're buying Tsimikas. Like Tsimikas is now nailed probably for the next... I'm assuming Robertson will be out for 3 game weeks. So Tsimikas should play them all. But ultimately, he's 3.7 million. He's ridiculous value. But once you get him in, you've probably got to get him straight back out again. And obviously, yeah, you shouldn't buy Robertson yet. But when he's back, he could be an option. I think the only way Robertson becomes a genuine option is if Jota stops becoming an option. Like for now, I don't really know why you'd want to sell Jota. Maybe if you don't already own him, you could go for Robertson, but you got to wait 3 game weeks for it to happen. I think with Tsimikas, it's one transfer in, one transfer out. Unless you've got a spare Liverpool slot, I don't really think it's worth messing about with. Robertson only misses 1 game. He's back next game week. Is that right though? It's a straight red, right? For foul for like. I thought it was straight red for like a foul like that. It's 3 games. It's only like 1 if it's 2 yellows, right? I think. Could be wrong. Yeah, he's not flagged yet, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's 3. You'd sell Jota for Son. Yeah, but oh man, you're ripping off someone's... No, we'll time you out. You're ripping off someone's logo. You're ripping off FPL Tips logo. Yeah, he'll miss 3. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't necessarily think about Jota to Son. I mean, my plan is probably going to be Salah to Son, to be honest with you. They said on Sky Sports only 1 game. I think Sky Sports have got it wrong. They're going to contest and overturn the red. They won't win. There's no way they overturn that. It's a red card. Well, we don't actually know when players are going to leave for African Cup of Nations, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess there's still a chance like something happens with that, but we don't know. I think the latest they can leave is after Game Week 21. Whether or not they play Game Week 21, we'll have to wait and see. He's going to miss 3 games, but 1's Carabao Cup. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So he only probably misses 2 in the league, is what you're saying. Yeah, fair enough. 2 for red, 3 for violent behaviour. Would this not count as violent behaviour, though? Which, yeah, I think midfielder for Son is probably have to be Salah. Like, I don't want to... I'm not sitting here... You know well enough, right, Mr. Audit? Like, no one's locking in plans this early, but Salah to Son seems like kind of obvious-ish. But obviously, if Man United then suddenly get a double game week, then Salah to fund Ronaldo becomes the option. But right now, if there's no double game week soon, I don't see why I don't do Salah to Son for a few weeks. But I don't know. The thing is, this is why I really want to roll the transfer, because big at the back defence has been good, but once Chelsea aren't options, unless you go for Diaz, right? And right now I'm probably keeping Jota, I guess, for African combinations. Unless you go to Diaz, there's not too many other options like expensive defenders. Maybe Reguilon could be an option. But I can see me going for like Davies and Dalot and just really cheaping out. So I don't really know right now. What I really need to happen is for all the games to go on Boxing Day, no injury, so I can just roll the transfer with this team. That's what I really need. I'd imagine there are clauses in contracts with TV coverage that would put the Premier League off skipping a week. Yeah, I know, but we're we're kind of in well, I would say unprecedented, but this is the same thing that happened last year, isn't it? But basically, according to the Athletic article, right at the bottom, it says that Amazon are not expecting these games to be off. And they were advertising on Sky about it. So, look, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying that a lot at the moment, but that's just the way it is. I just don't know if the matches are definitely going to be suspended for Game Week 20 or postponed. I'm just saying what's been reported, right? So we'll just see what happens. All I'll say is, if that Game Week 20 gets called off, like postponed, I think, like, with everything that's going on right now, because there are so, like, this isn't just a normal season anymore, right? It's not just going to be a couple of double game weeks. There's going to be lots. I think that I think the rules, like, some of the rules go out the window. So I would, like, if it gets postponed, again, it might not. I don't know for sure. Like you say, like, the money does talk, and it'd be a lot of money to lose for the Premier League. I think, like, things like Game Week 21, early wildcard, potentially become a thing. But we'll have to see how it all falls, right? It depends on doubles and stuff like that. But if we suddenly got a bunch of players with a slightly different fixture who maybe didn't want to keep long term anyway, could be wildcard time. Not completely writing off. And most people will say it's a mistake. You don't know what's going to happen later on. You need to hold it as late as possible, right? Same thing as last year. But it could happen. I don't want to talk about it too much because until the postponement does or doesn't happen, it doesn't matter. I'm sure I won't use my wildcard, but I also won't write it off either. Smith Rowe to Martinelli. I mean, Martinelli does look like he's got the place ahead of him right now. I think it is between those two. I think Odegaard's got his place. Lacazette's got his. Saka's nailed. So it is between the other two, I think. Sure, you'd free hit on a double game. Yeah, but it's going to be loads of double game weeks, right? There's not just going to be one or two. There's probably going to be like 4 or 5, possibly. 52 points, game week 18 gone from 620k to 350k in the past 5 weeks. Nice. I have taken a minus 16 total over 5 weeks to be aggressive. Are the constant hits sustainable? People think about hits too much, right? Like, just because hits have worked doesn't mean that they're going to continue to work. Like, you should always assess hits on the game week. Like, you shouldn't have rules. You shouldn't say, like, some people will take a bunch of hits and they're like, right, I've taken too many, I'm going to stop. Some people will take a bunch of hits and be like, right, they keep working, I'm going to keep doing it. You should assess them every single week as a new hit. Like, there's nothing to say that next week you shouldn't take a hit, the week after you shouldn't take a hit. But it's going to depend on the players you take out, the players you bring in every single time. That is just the rule. If you want to be aggressive, great. But there will be at some point when you're aggressive and it doesn't work. You'll just, I don't know, maybe get a bit cocky and think that because it works, you're just going to keep nailing it. But I mean, it sounds like you've done really well, but you just assess it every week. Don't overthink it. Like, I could have taken a hit, right? I could have done Livramento to Diaz. If if Watkins had come in or whatever, I could have done, like, if the Villa game had been on, I could have done Brownhill to Rafinha or Brownhill to whoever. But I didn't do the hit because of the times we're in right now. It just feels like not worth taking too many hits. But again, I had a nearly full squad of players, right? So a little bit different. Smith Rowe isn't being held out of the starting 11 by Martinelli. Arteta is easing him. I think you're wrong, to be honest with you. I mean, I could be wrong for sure, but I think people, like, hang on a second. Let me just bring it up just to have a quick look. I think people are acting like Smith Rowe had the place and so it's his, but it's not like Smith Rowe is, like, just back from injury. So he only missed. He missed one game for injury. Like, how bad was the injury? He missed the Everton game, one game for injury. The next game he was fit enough to be on the bench, and the next 2 games he hasn't started. Like, how bad was this one game injury where he needs to be eased back in? In my opinion, it's Martinelli's position. The thing is, Martinelli is not exactly the least injury prone player. So there's nothing to say that he won't step out at some point. But I think Smith Rowe is second choice right now. But yeah, you're right. Martinelli probably won't last. I'm not saying he will. But I think it is his position to lose right now. Martinelli and Saka are most definitely starters. Odegaard most likely to rotate with Smith Rowe. Yeah, possibly. But what's the issue? He missed one game. Why can't he already be back in if it's his place? If he's the number one choice, why is he not started either of the last two? How bad was this injury? You don't think Martinelli is a bit of an overreaction? He scored decent goals, but Leeds are awful at defending. Maybe, yeah. By the way, I'm not saying you should buy Arsenal players right now. I mean, Norwich is good, but after that, the fixture run's not very good, so I probably wouldn't necessarily buy them. But I think if I said this last week, if Martinelli keeps starting, he probably is the best option, like better than Saka. But the reason I said to go Saka is because he's nailed. You don't have these worries, right? It was Smith Rowe's position to lose. He got injured. Martinelli and Odegaard stepped in and performed. It's their position to lose. Yeah, I think that's the situation, to be honest. I think that is the situation. Could be wrong, but that's what it looks like. I mean, someone said to me before the game, like on the YouTube guys, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Smith Rowe's like absolutely first choice. I was like, well, that'll be why he didn't start again this week, right? I mean, I get it. If a player's out for like 4 or 5 games, they need to be eased back in. But he missed one game, and he was on the bench for the next game. So he's obviously fit enough for that. Martinelli can be the number 9. Yeah, he could be, I'm sure. But he hasn't played there at all yet, and Lacazette's been doing fine. So I don't see why that would change. But again, I could be wrong. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I sometimes I don't. You don't need to be a fan to see what's happening. Like, I think fans are kind of useful sometimes because they hear things the rest of us don't because they're more like involved with that club. But I don't think you need to be an Arsenal fan to see what's happened. He's missed one game. He's not been eased back in. He's been benched because the other two have done so well. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. Look, it doesn't mean that I think Martinelli is now 100% nailed to start like the next 4 to 7, 8, 9, 10 games at all. But I think for now, he probably is his spot. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thoughts on Alonso going forward? Transferring Tomiyasu last week, worried about the injury, wanted to do Sterling to Son otherwise. Yeah, I don't think Alonso's a good buy right now. I mean, like he probably is decent enough for Villa, and if they play Brighton, he's decent enough for that. But after that, you're going to want to get rid. So I don't think he's really a great option right now. All it takes is one game, and it could change. Of course, yeah. And look, maybe Smith Rowe starts the next game, right? There's quick turnarounds coming up, so I'm sure Martinelli won't start them all. But I don't think that Smith Rowe is first choice right now, personally. I think things have changed quickly, and he's now benched. Even though he scores from every single shot he has. I think Smith Rowe's good, by the way. Like, I from an FPL point of view, I'm very bitter about it. But like, Smith Rowe has been great this year. So like, it's harsh. It's harsh on him to not have had that spot back, to be honest. But Odegaard's been pulling the strings. He's been brilliant. And Martinelli's a bit... The thing with Martinelli is he's a bit more of a goal scorer. Like, I know Smith Rowe has been scoring goals, but I don't know if that's going to be necessarily his like strong point for Arsenal outside of like FPL. And I don't think Saka's really got that killer instinct for goal either. So I think that's why they like Martinelli. But who knows? Anyway, look, things could change next game week, like you say. Maybe Smith Rowe comes back in. What happens to 2 free transfers if they cancel game week 19? I mean, I would assume you just get the 2 free transfers for the game week afterwards. Right? Well, actually, yeah, you just get 2 free transfers the next game week because it would just roll over. Victor, just to be here for you, thank you very much. I do have a question. In my cut, we are both 60-60. I do have Jota. He hasn't. Is Jota on bonus points? No, I don't think he is. If not, who goes forward? I don't actually know. I'd have to read the rules, to be honest. It's in the rules somewhere. I don't know. There's like... chips, leagues, transfers, wild cards. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Somewhere in the rules it will tell you. It might be most goals scored or something like that. I can't remember exactly how they do it. It could be transfers made, possibly. Okay, yeah, it is goals scored. Goals scored, then coin toss. There you go. Job done. Thank you very much for that. My defence got me 11 bonus points. Yeah, defenders were great this week. Mitch, how's it going? Bernardo and King to Son and Broja from -4. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I mean, Bernardo Silva doesn't look great now, but he started he started this game. Maybe starts the next one. Could do all right. I do. I think like we said for a while, Bernardo Silva was probably overperforming a little bit. Is there a need to get rid of King though? I guess you got to fund the move to Son. I don't know about a -4 for that, to be honest with you. Yeah, look, we don't need to stick on the Arsenal thing for too much longer, right? It is what it is. None of us really know who's going to start next week, apart from Saka, because Saka's nailed, right? But I agree. Smith Rowe is very unlucky not to have just got his place straight back. But that's football, right? Player comes in and performs. You just stick with what... I mean, to be fair to Arsenal and to be fair to Arteta... Arteta? That sounded a bit weird. 4 goals against Leeds, 2 against West Ham. Really good performance against West Ham as well, by the way, because West Ham are not easy to beat, and Arsenal really just controlled the game like the whole way through. 3 goals versus Southampton. Like, why would you want to change that? They've conceded 1 goal in the last 3 and scored 9. Why change it? Why change it? Those scampi fries are again. Scampi fries, honestly, I didn't like. Some people said you only like them because they were the only thing available. I actually walked to a shop to get them. Scampi fries are the best pub snack. Like, there is no competition. Like, people reply to that tweet with loads of other rubbish. Like, it's not competition. Pork scratchings over scampi fries. Get out of here. Get out of here. Bernardo's playing a bit deeper than he played the last couple of games. Yeah, I said that after the Leeds game. Like, I think De Bruyne just gets a bit further forward. Like, he is like the guy that, you know, gets involved with the attack a lot. I mean, against Leeds, Bernardo Silva again had a great chance, obviously. But, yeah. How did the bloke selling shower heads get on? I don't know, but he's always there every year. It's so weird. But obviously not weird. He's probably selling a lot. Wildcard draft soon. To be honest, like, this is a long week to the next deadline. We could possibly get a wildcard draft in, maybe. If enough people are still holding it. But... I want to be... like, weeks like this are a bit annoying when we're still up in the air about what's going to happen with games and stuff like that. So I need to be a bit careful about exactly how much stuff I do before we get more information, right? We'll have the usual stuff this week, I'm sure. We'll have the usual stuff, I'm sure. Thoughts on owning Foden and Gundogan, thinking about Pep Rudat. Yeah, I got to be honest. Like, I think today's team sheet just reminded me that it could be a bit of a nightmare trying to figure out who's going to start when. Like, I'm pretty happy with Foden still. I think I'm going to keep him because going forward, hopefully we won't have these annoying game weeks where there's only a few people playing. Or hopefully we'll have a bench. Or if he doesn't start, then, you know, on a normal week if he doesn't come on, you get another player on for him. But I don't think I want to add a second attacker. I don't know. De Bruyne's just too expensive. I don't really want Bernardo Silva. Gundogan, who knows when he's going to start. So I think if I do anything, it'll be to get Diaz in, just go double defence instead. No, I think I'm out of the cup. I think I lost by like 2 or 3 points, something like that. Loz, 41 points playing the classic 3-3-0. -4 getting Gundogan and Foden in. Oh my God, that sucks. That sucks. Next 3 game weeks are going to be out of chaos, aren't they? Yes, but probably not worse than 41 with 3-3-0. So that's good. I feel like Odegaard will get so many assists. Yeah, the thing is, I think what you got to remember for any player is goals are worth more than assists. And I think Saka is just as capable of getting assists as Odegaard and probably more goal threat too. And Martinelli definitely more goal threat. So I don't think Odegaard's really that good of an option. I think the same as last week. I did think Smith Rowe was possibly going to start, but this game kind of now feels like it's telling me he's not first choice anymore. He could be, like, if one of them gets injured and he comes back in. I think again, you buy Saka if you want someone that's nailed. You buy Martinelli, who, if he plays, is gold. I've done everything you've advised again. I hate, but the posts like these are so stupid. Like, is it as if like you've not listened to a word I've said? If you have, why are you watching the videos? It's very strange. I've done everything you've advised against, and my rank is 115% better than yours. 36k. Well done. Nice. Thanks for misleading the rest of the community. Sincerely, a real United fan. No one bashes more than you. Okay. You seem like a proper idiot. I'll put you out of your misery to not watch. I'll just block you instead. Like, it's just so weird. I hate football fans that just can't like have a discussion about their own team where like they're so biased towards it. Like I'm pretty realistic with Man United, right? They are like the probably the fourth best club in the league, and who even knows right now, right? If Ranić can do it, we have to see Man United play again first, though. Who knows when that will be? It could be against Newcastle. Why do people do that? They just want attention. I shouldn't really give idiots attention, but sometimes I do. It's in a flip flop. What does that mean? In a flip flop. Naf, thank you very much. Alan, Dallo or Cash for Alonso next 2 to 3 game weeks? I think probably Dallo. Let me just double check. I can't even remember. I feel like I've just completely forgotten about Man United now because they haven't played the last 2 games. Let me see. Newcastle, Burnley. Yeah, I think I'd go Dallo over Cash, to be honest. I mean, Gerrard is doing pretty good things with their defence, but I feel like Dallo's pretty good value, and they got an extra fixture to come. Do I think there's a possibility for a quadruple Spurs game week? To be honest, I've got no idea. I don't really get involved with like fixture rearrangements and stuff like that. I would say that seems unlikely. We had a triple game week last year, and that was pretty crazy. That's the first time that's happened in 12 years, or something like that. So I think 4 game weeks is crazy. 4 games in a game week is crazy. What did you have for dinner today? I had it's like a NutriQuit meal they're called, like spag bowl. Bit rubbish. Nothing interesting tonight, I'm afraid. Wasn't this week for Captain Differential Dare to Win? Yeah, for anyone that went different, they won. The world of Twitter and to a degree, the world of Twitter is full of dogs licking themselves on the carpet in front of the fire. They're there, but you don't pay much attention to them as it's weird. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Have I watched any Christmas films? I don't think I have. No, what did we watch the other day, actually? We watched something the other day. I can't remember what it was. It must have been really memorable, because I can't remember it. It was with Danny DeVito. He's trying to I don't know what his film was called, but he's trying to make his house so. I think it's Danny DeVito making his house so bright. Oh, I forgot the. No, it's Danny DeVito, isn't it? Yeah. He's trying to make his house really bright so they can see it from space. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. Good time to move from Chelsea fans. I don't think so for the next 2 game weeks. Like Villa and Brighton look good. Deck the Halls. There you go. Yeah, we watched that the other day. I've seen Jingle All the Way a few times, but not this year so far. Yeah, Deck the Halls. It was fine. Do you think having a backup for Ramsdale is essential? Nope. I mean, if you can afford it, it's nice to have another goalkeeper with the way things are going right now. But I got no plans to do that until Ramsdale misses out, really. Have you checked out the spreadsheet guy's tweet on potential fixtures next week? I love the way you call him the spreadsheet guy. I'm assuming you mean Ben. The spreadsheet guy. You love that. Oh, yeah, we talked about that earlier. Game week 20 might be a blank game week, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that already. It is interesting, though. If that happens, I don't think it necessarily creates this massive problem, but again, we will suddenly. I mean, game week 21 was already shaping up to be a bit frustrating, a bit annoying because there's so many good teams are playing each other, and obviously you've got African combinations, but it will cause some headaches. I think rolling the transfer this week could be really handy. I've not seen Spider-Man. Now, I've got to be honest, I've never really seen any of the Marvel films, to be honest with you. Apparently, Disney Plus have got where you can play them in a row. In the way they're meant to be watched or whatever. So I might get that at some point. I feel like I should catch up with them because I feel like it is the kind of film I'd like. I'm a big fan of don't have to think too much. Action films, special effects, all good. By the way, there wasn't the guy. Just to kind of put it straight, Nath in the chat who redacted his super chat was not the guy I was talking about. By the way, about being an idiot. That was someone else just in the chat. They're in timeline on Disney. Yeah, exactly. Isn't African Cup of Nations indefinitely postponed? Nope. Nope. Try 5 more sleeps till Christmas. Have I ever seen National Lampoon's Christmas movie? I don't know, to be honest. Maybe. I don't really remember if I have. I'm not really like a massive film person, to be honest. Like, I'm like one of those people, and it's kind of the same with music. Like, I won't go out of my way to watch new films, but if there's like a film on that I really like, you know, if it's like Back to the Future or Indiana Jones or one of the Star Wars films or Goodfellas or The Matrix, something like that, if it's on, I will turn it on and I will watch it, but I won't actually go out of my way to watch something new. It's not like I never watch anything new. I've watched the like most recent James Bond, for example. But I'm not a massive film kind of person. We have to talk about films because like all the matches are getting cancelled. Anniversary was good. Not too many drinks. I woke up pretty fresh. Went for a 5,000 step walk this morning. Really showing your age of those movie choices. But everyone loves like Back to the Future, right? I watched it again the other day. The third one. With the train. I'm a big fan of generic films. Naf, should I take a -4 to replace an injured Hwang and Gundogan who's suffering from rotation with Broja and Sancho, another Man City mid? Possibly. You could take a -4. I mean, I know like it's like caveat to everything, but we need to wait and see what's happening. But Hwang's probably not a great option going forward. Gundogan's probably not either. Sancho's obviously a bit of a punt, but the fixtures are there, so you could go for it. I mean, I don't even know if you need to spend all the money in midfield right now. Like, Rafinha soon could be an option. Arsenal are okay really short term. Bowen could be an option. Like, if the West Ham game goes ahead, Bowen looks like a really good option. I think they're possibly all better than Sancho, to be honest. 84 points with a free hit. Is that good or bad? Come on, 84 points this week is great. It's pretty damn good. I mean, I got 65 without a free hit. So it depends what your previous team would have got, right? You love the way I say Hwang. How is it supposed to be said? Am I saying it wrong? Am I saying it wrong? I kind of lost motivation to play after all this COVID mess. It's sad. Yeah, you got to try and get on with it. I think if you're really not finding it fun, then you should just not play. To be honest. We're playing in the dark. A little bit, yeah. A little bit. At least no games got called off after the deadline this time. I know some people went for Watkins and then it got called off. That sucks. But at least none of them were after the deadline. Hwang, A, not E. Huang. Hwang. Hwang, like hung, but with a W. Huang. Huang instead of Hwang, is it? I'll look it up after this. Could be here all night. But I always find like when I ask how to pronounce something, someone tells me one way, I do it, and then someone says, "No, that's wrong. This is how you do it." But look, he's not even an option right now, so at least we don't have to talk about him too much. Although they do play. Hang on, they do play. Did they not play Watford soon? Obviously, if he's injured, he's no good anyway. But I'm thinking more like Jimenez maybe. Yeah, they play Watford this week. What if he gets back from his injury? I wouldn't be too quick to get rid of him, just in case. What would be the ideal call from tomorrow's managers meeting? Kind of want more postponements for extra double game weeks to help more engaged managers. Yeah, I'd just like football to continue, really. I mean, the ideal is everything's fine now. Game week's going ahead in Boxing Day. Yeah, and we're having game week 20, and we're having game week 21. It's probably not going to happen, though. Probably not going to happen. Who's your bench between Dyer and King next week? King against Wolves away, and Dyer is against Crystal Palace at home. I'd probably bench Dyer. I mean, Dyer has got a good chance of a clean sheet that week, but I can't like playing the attacker. I mean, Wolves away is not easy, to be honest. I'd probably play King, but I expect the right answer is probably Dyer. I'd play King. I mean, Spurs did really well today. They still conceded twice. I know Crystal Palace are not Liverpool. I get it. I think I'd play King. Wolves away, not easy though. Not easy. Do I hold Jimenez or sort to Watkins? I mean, Jimenez plays Watford this week, and Watkins plays Chelsea. So that's it. That's the answer. Yeah, Watford are pretty good at scoring goals. That is true. The only good thing about this week is I've not had to see Dennis outscore King again. So there are some benefits to the postponements, you know. Yeah, things are going all right from a rank point of view at the moment. So we are... I don't think they've... Yeah, ranks haven't updated this week yet. I'm actually on like 78k. But obviously we had so many red arrows to go from 10k all the way down to 190k. So we're slowly building back up. 156, 108, 81. Obviously I've been a bit fortunate with the way the fixtures have fallen and the postponements. So I didn't have Watkins, didn't have players the previous week really that got called off. Not most of them anyway. Not that made a big difference to my team. So yeah, that is my plan going forward. I'm just going to continue to try and get lucky, right? That is the best way to play FPL. If you can get lucky, you're in for good time. Where is... Let's have a look here. Best Man City, yes. It's probably... I still think it's probably Cancelo, Diaz, Foden. I still think Foden's probably the better option. I mean, De Bruyne, I guess if you could afford him, maybe he'll play more minutes. But I don't know if he's really a great option right now. Christmas dinner, same as every year. Turkey, stuffing, pigs in blankets, veg, roast potatoes. Job done. Job done. What about against... Yeah, you could get Simicast if you've got a spare Liverpool slot, but... I think getting Simicast in and then having to get him back out, I ain't looking at him at all. At all. It wasn't the tweet about potential blank week, it was the one with potential fixtures due to COVID outbreaks. Oh, yeah, okay. But I think we talked about that last week, right? I'll update my spreadsheet to show a potential triple game week for Burnley in Game Week 21 when I post a screenshot of it. I don't think a triple game is likely for Burnley or Watford, but it's possible. Yeah, the problem is like we just don't know right now. There could, like I said this last week, there could be double game weeks in Game Week 21, but we don't know. So if they get announced, happy days, right? What level have I played football at? Like under 15, 16 Sunday League football. For a team that used to get smashed every week. We used to lose like pretty much every game. Apart from like against one team who we would smash like 15, 16, 17 nil. It was really, like, they were really bad. Like we were really bad. They were like super bad. Not sure if you remember the stream midweek where I highlighted the Salah permanent captain, Trent outscoring Salah 7 of the last 8 games. It's now showing that it's not a one-off. Yeah, but it's the same. It's exactly the same thing. If I give you £100 for next week, who are you putting the money on, Salah or Trent? Like it's the same thing, right? Just because Trent's outscored him doesn't mean the expectation is higher for Trent. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he has outscored him. I've missed all those weeks. Like, basically, the way I look at it for next game week is, I forget what's happened, right? Trent and Salah. Okay, Trent's outscored Salah. Who do I think is going to score the most points against Leeds at home? Salah and Trent. It's Salah. Right? So, it doesn't really matter what's happened. Like, it's great if you've gone for Trent captain, but I would assume that a lot of people haven't. And if they go forward, like, you're still betting on who's going to score more. You're probably putting your money on Salah still. I guess. I remember what you said, but I think my point still stands. I'm not just going to switch to Trent just because he has outscored him. I'd switch to Trent when I think he is going to outscore him, if that makes sense. Yeah, Trent could haul against Leeds for sure. Absolutely. He could get another double digits, but so could Salah, right? What positions did I play? I played like every position. I've played in goal, I've played up front, I played left wing, right wing. Yeah, just about every position for them. In my first ever game, we lost 5-0, and I played left wing, and we were losing. I think we were already losing like 4 or 5. We lost 5-0 in total, but we were already like 4 or 5 down. And I was through on goal 1-on-1 with a keeper. This is like my first ever game, like first ever like league game against another team, and we were losing, and I was left wing, right footed. I took it round the keeper, open goal. Now, I wasn't right in front of the goal. Like I think I took it around the keeper like near the edge of the box. Like he came out, and it was like an open goal. Then still a bit of distance, but not very much, and outside of the right foot because I had no left foot, and I missed it. I was gutted. I was on the floor, like not happy at all. Few tears probably. Still regret it to this day. Like you've had the composure to take it round the keeper, right? Drop the shoulder. You've gone to the left. So I'm on the left. The goal's here. I'm here. The goal's here. Outside of the boot. Put it wide of the post. Oh, gutted. It was against Banwell, I think. It was against Banwell. Possibly. Could be wrong. You can go against Salah and make minor gains, but when he hauls, he really does haul. And the last time I bet against Salah, he scored a hat-trick against United. Yeah, look, again, I think like you should still take it as it comes, right? If you think there's a better option than Salah, I've got no problem with people going against Salah. I'm not sitting, you know me, I'm not sitting here ramming it down people's throats saying, you have to go Salah, you're an idiot if you don't go Salah. But if I'm looking at my team, Salah versus Trent, I think Salah scores more points, so that's who I'm going to go with, right? Like there will be I think game week 21, Salah's got Chelsea. That seems like a good week to maybe go for Son or Kane, right, against Watford. Take a little bit of a punt. But there ain't many weeks like that because Salah's just been ridiculous this season. A picture of Galway Crystal Market was nice. Yeah, it was from the hotel room. Like, so what a good view that was. I did once score from my own half as well. Like, forget all this COVID games getting called off nonsense. You don't get that when you're like under 14s or under 15s or something like that. So we only had 7 players, no subs, and we got forced to play against 11 players, and we lost like 16-1. And the only goal we played with like one up. I think we played one goalie, three defenders maybe. 1 forward, so that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then like 2 midfielders. I think I was playing in defence, and we lost 16-1. And the ball came to me, like rolled back to me in my own half, and I tried to play it up to the forward, like tried to basically long ball it basically, and it had so much hit on it that it lobbed the goalkeeper and went in, and that was the only goal we scored, and we lost 16-1 playing with 7 players. Mad. I used to play for Banwell. How old are you? I'm really old. Scrap that. I scored in my own half playing as a defender. Come on. That's pretty damn good. And once, like, the last story about me playing football. I mean, let's be honest. We don't even know if the games in FPL are going to go ahead. So the team we smashed, so again, we used to get smashed. We'd easily lose like 10, 15. I remember losing 23-0 once. 23-0. Because the opposite team just realised they could lob our keeper. He was only like 4 foot. But there's this other team that we used to beat like 15, 16-0. That's how bad they were. And I was in goal for one of those games. And I said at halftime, we were smashing them like 9-0 or something like that. I said at halftime, if we get a penalty, let me take it. Like literally like ripping them, like taking the mick even more. Like let the goalkeeper take a penalty. And I remember James, I won't say his second name. He was great though. Left-footed, wizard. He won a penalty, and all my team were like, come on and take the penalty. And I stepped up, and I did score it, but I was panicking because I thought, what if I miss? I've got to leg it back. So I took it and I scuffed it. I did scuff it, but luckily it went in, and we won like 15, 16-0. So I was a goalkeeper. You know, think of it like Edison, Allison, boom, getting a penalty. Imagine the points for that. Clean sheet, no save points, of course, because they were rubbish. And you get so basically, I've told you about 3 goals. One is me basically missing an open goal. One of them's like taking a penalty as a goalkeeper. Yeah, 23-0 against Nelsey. It would have been against Nels the Athletic, probably. When my granddad came and watched me, because his house, like, is like the pitch was on the basically like nearly at the back of his house, so he came and watched, and we lost 23-0. Adam in goal. He was just like, obviously, like, kids like get taller at different rates, right? But he was just short, and like and you're playing in full size goals, which is mad, by the way. My son's playing in full size goals now. It's crazy they have to play in them. There should be like a slight up. Like they have those like small goals that are too small. There should be like an in between. And they used to just lob the keeper constantly. Trying to think of any other memorable games. I think that's probably about it, really. Memorable moments. Yeah, 23-0. The thing is, we used to just play every week. Like, we didn't really, like we knew we were going to lose. We just accepted it, but we still wanted to play football. Yeah, we used to play Barrow, yeah. I can't, like, I got to remember, I can't, like, we used to play Barrow. Used to be, like, Easton and Gordano. Used to play them. Like, we were always in the league below, so we wouldn't always play like Milton Nomads, but if we did play them in a cup, they would smash us as well. Yeah, Nels in near Bristol, yeah. Easton and Gordano used to play. Milton Nomads obviously smash us. World Crusaders smash us. I used to play for Priory Rangers. I don't even know if they're still going, to be honest. Anyway, sorry, let's get back to FPL. Has everyone switched off at this point? No, we didn't coach ourselves. Did I ever get a red card? Not that I recall. Did we ever play Wedmore? I don't think so. Play every week, even though we knew we were going to lose, like Norwich and Newcastle. Yeah, basically, apart from we weren't paid thousands of pounds every week. Alan, Simicast is a bargain, 3.7, but worried with the absence of Van Dijk and shaky performance of Alisson. To be fair, Alisson made one mistake today. He was brilliant. And it was a big mistake because Son obviously scored from it. But other than that, Alisson was really good today. But Simicast is a bargain, but he's like a bargain for 3 weeks, and then he's not an option anymore. Sport of the year announcement imminent. Milton and Well were beasts, yeah, absolutely. Yatton, by the way, was the team that we used to smash. Yatton Rangers. I think they were all orange. Alisson made 3 mistakes, did he? I think Alisson did really well, to be honest. Am I thinking of any transfers? No, I really want to roll the transfer this week if I can. Really want to roll it. When was the last time I went out in Western? I went out in Western at the end of October, and I've not felt as bad as the next day for a very long time. Very long time. We went to, like, I was basically like in nostalgia mode. I was like, right, we're staying out. Like, just buying cocktail after cocktail after cocktail. We went to Skinny's, I think, which used to be Latinos when I was a lot younger, which is an awful place. And yeah, not good. Western Carnival, classic. I've played cricket, yeah, not very good at cricket, but I used to play cricket, yeah. Used to play cricket for uphill. Salah has ruined FPL Cup this season because Captaincy's always on him. If anything, it's made it better, right? Captaincy's not a big issue. You just have 10 other players. Club appearance, Jesus Christ! No, I've been to Vision when they used to have like people there. You'd have like Dean Gaffney or Richard Blackwood, someone like that. West Country FPL League. Walker to Diaz or Bernardo to Foden. Both at some point. Both over the next couple of weeks. Probably Bernardo to Foden first. When's triple captain free hit bench boost? Free hit, I don't know yet, to be honest. Bench boost and triple captain around double game weeks, I would say. I'm like not having to think about captain. You get options to go differential if you want. Yeah, in some ways I like it. I mean, it is nice to get like a big gain. Obviously, people that went against Salah this week have had a little bit of a gain. If they went Cancelo, they've had a massive gain. But I don't mind it too much. I mean, like, we shouldn't kid ourselves. How many times was Salah or someone like that captain last week? A lot. And even if Salah wasn't captain, there always will be a standout pick in the community. So it's not. I think we make it a big thing because like it has been so long, and it is a little bit different. But I don't think it's as big as people make out, to be honest. I was at a club in Bristol once for like a uni thing, and they had the guy that used to present Funhouse. Is it Pat something? I'm sure it was him. He used to present Funhouse. Funhouse. Great theme tune. Great theme tune. Wildcard video, maybe. Yeah, maybe. If I use a chip, will the extra points count in the cup? Yes. Yeah, the cup's pretty rubbish generally, to be honest with you. Pat Sharp, yeah, that's it. I'm pretty sure he was there. Why would Pat Sharp be in a club, though, in Bristol? Pat Sharp, I'm sure it was him. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was someone that looked like him. I don't know what pub or club it was, to be honest with you. Was it in Bristol? I think it was in Bristol, though. Funhouse theme tune's great. I'm going to go and listen to it after this. I reckon they should give us a free transfer whenever there is a game called off. But then again, I'm being trigger happy on transfer. Would probably just ruin my team. Yeah, I don't think they. I don't think they should necessarily. I don't know if they do. They need to tell us in advance that's happening. I think. I don't know. I mean, I know people will say it's because I've had a couple of good game weeks and because my squad's looking pretty good, but I don't think FPL need to make too many major knee-jerk, no pun intended, knee-jerk changes. Like, it's annoying, but so is like a player getting injured who you've just brought in, right? I know this is like on a more extreme level. I'm not trying to say it's exactly the same, but I don't think there should be massive wholesale changes, to be honest. It is a whole lot of fun. There is prizes to be won. I think Funhouse was definitely what, like, when you're a kid and you want to go on some of these shows, I think Funhouse was probably the number one. Probably. I can't really think of too many others. Like, what was the one where they had to, like, I don't think it was this. Was it the same? No, I don't think it was a different show. You know where they had to go through the rooms and find stuff in the messy rooms? That wasn't the same show, was it? That was a different show, I think. Future games where you think you won't actually captain Salah. I mean, when he's not in the country. Basically, anytime he plays Chelsea or play... I mean, this fixture on here, Arsenal, West Ham, Man United, maybe, but who knows what's happened at that point in FPL. But this fixture on here, like, if he was available for all these games, I think Chelsea's the only game I don't captain him for, to be honest with you. You were on Funhouse. Happy days. Happy days. I'll find his keepers, yeah. That's it. That was it. Different show, I remember now. It's like a nostalgia trip. This is what happens when the Premier League start postponing transfers. Postponing games. Tried the Shahabeh yet? No, I haven't. Exactly, go-karts in Funhouse. That's why it was so good. Crystal Maze was alright. Never really wanted to go on there, though. Chaos like this are opportunities. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Don't get me wrong, like, some people will be getting screwed over more than others. Like, anyone that just had stuff going on where they couldn't log in right before the deadline, who couldn't check that that Villa was off, they've been screwed. They got Watkins. It absolutely sucks. But overall, again, I don't think there should be a huge amount of changes. Sorry, Funhouse is like a kids' TV show in the UK back in the 90s. Sorry, we are completely off on a tangent here, I've got to be honest with you. After the Leeds game, if Game Week 20 is postponed, is Salah a sell? Yeah, could be, yeah, for sure. Fort Boyard, yeah. It's slightly different though. Fort Boyard was more like a 6 p.m, 5:30, 6 p.m. No, it was actually like 6:30, right? Because you had that. Basically, you had kids shows up until 5:35 on BBC One, and like I always like. So you always had like you'd have news. No, what was it? Blue Peter 3 times, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think. And then you'd have like Grange Hill or something like that, Tuesday, Thursday. So I always preferred Tuesday, Thursdays. And then obviously you'd have Neighbours, classic. You used to watch that all the time. And then at 6 o'clock was the news on BBC, so that's when you'd switch to Channel 4, because Channel 4 would always have something different on. So that's where I think Fort Boyard was a Channel 5 thing, wasn't it? But Crystal Maze would be like a 6 or 6:30 show. So that's when you change. Nightmare. I can't, is that when they had the... Hang on. Is that when they had the nights that would kind of take kids away? Like on the squares? Was that a different... Oh, no, I don't... No, I think that's a different show. Yeah, Simpsons on Channel 4 as well. But before that, I used to have stuff like Crystal Maze, I think. Maybe that was a Friday thing. I can't remember. Anyway. If I hadn't swapped Louise and Bowen for Smith Rowe and Martinez, I'd have been grumpy, but I made the punt and got lucky. Happy days. Serious question. Gabrielle's fiance is pregnant. Will it affect his performances on the pitch? Probably not. Seems right so right now. Takeshi's Castle, no way. No way would I go on that. Demon Headmaster, nah. It was alright. Biker Grove was classic, of course. Night was the one where there's a helmet and his buddy guides him. Yeah, but didn't it used to get taken away? Like, wasn't it like on like a board, and like there'd be like an adult that would, making it sound really weird, but like would hunt them, right? On the board as well. Noel Edmonds, yeah, live and kicking, great. Noel's House Party, great show. They don't make TV like that now. They don't make TV like that. Alright, we are completely off on a tangent here. We're not talking about FPL whatsoever. If you enjoyed that stream, please do give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be back probably tomorrow with some videos. I mean, I'm hoping that we'll get some kind of decision tomorrow so that we can start planning. But yeah. I was referring to Gabriel the defender, not Martinelli. Yeah, no, I know. Takeshi's Castle aired from 1986 to 1989. Really? That made a comeback, did it? Yeah, we won't talk about that show or your name, to be honest. Family Fortunes. That's not kids' show, though, is it? Family Fortunes. The thing I used to get annoyed with Zap because there was a couple where I thought they were really good, but they were on very rarely, and a lot of the ones that were on a lot just weren't that good, in my opinion. I could sit here all day, talk about 90s TV shows, to be honest. Don't know if it makes for great FPL content, but there you go. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you again at some point this week to talk about what fixtures may or may not be on, and then what we'll do from there. So, yes, thank you for watching. See you later.